we're in week 7 of this campaign, of this particular mini campaign. Our group, our Dungeons and Dragons group, have been doing a good business coming off the mountain of Eldskara, which itself down the Drovers Road was a bit of a trek, bit of an ordeal, but made it through. To get to the old city of Eldskara Narvoet, the awful, terrible foot of the mountain, which is something of a perhaps important place for them to be, given that it seems to disappear into the sand wall, the dust wall that covers the sea of dust from viewing from the outside. Nobody's been able to see through it for some time, and this group have been sent to try to find out, to ascertain what is going on behind it. There is big fears about amassing troops, preparing for invasion. So yes, we need to be looking into seeing what the forces of Neril are doing. And so the group finds themselves heading forward. But that's not for just now. Because for just now, all y'all are in the middle of an absolutely giant battle. And it's fair to say that it's going all right? I mean, how are you feeling about it so far? What do you think? What are you thinking?
I'd love to land ahead. Not much luck so far.
I mean, you were talking a hell of a big game last week, so you better land one soon.
Look, I'm a roleplay character. I'm good at that. I keep punching it in the face and it bounces off and hits me. I can't do much with that.
So, not too confident there, Carsat, but you know, you're getting there. You're definitely getting there. I'm going to drop chat today over here. Chat. There we go. Just like to say quick hello to everybody in chat, and then we'll get started. Angie, hello. Russ is in. Cat stream. It's going to be a cat stream. Scoon, hello. How's it going? Hope you're well. We've got FL3, FI3. Hello. Milnerva, Red, Aldo, Infinity, some old pirate, Mud. Hello all. Many vermin. Ayo. How's it going? Reckon the M4. It was a beaut of a place, but there we go. Right, we're just going to quickly do something, and then we're going to come back in 10 seconds and carry on with this battle. You have a dragon problem. The problem is that it's right in front of you and it's really, really angry. It's indeed trying to eat you, whip you, bite you, scratch you, get rid of you, cover you in stone, barbecue you with lightning between the crystals of the cave. And indeed, it has just summoned a rather nasty looking dust devil. And it is making its way towards you. And we start this session at the top of the turn with the Dust Devil and its rather narky summoner being explicit in its instructions. Kylon, we left you in the midst of a rather nasty storm. You were blinded, weren't you?
Yeah.
So, at this point, you're swirling about in dust, and you see the dust form. I mean, you can't do anything about it because you're blind by the sand, but you kind of sense it whipping around you, and you get hit. That's just really what happens, because the Roll20 view that I would love to, there we go, that I'd love to bring in and hit you with it because you have been quite a pain. The dragon has taken a dislike to you, and you're closest. You and one dwarf who you brought along, who doesn't seem to be enjoying being alive and has a bit of a death wish, it seems. So you're going to take the first of the attacks from this swirling dervish. They're going to be made at advantage against you because you cannot see it, and it's going to slam into you with a 26. Does that hit?
Just.
So 17, and you're raging, so that's halved.
So that's 8.
Half to 8. And it enters into the sand around you. And next to you is Vistra, who really isn't in particularly good shape, having only ever so slightly been healed. And it slams into Vistra. Which for Vistra is her AC. So it's going to smack into. Does 13 points of damage, which keeps her up. It keeps her up because she was given some. She was given some healing. Yes. But she's looking once again like she's not far off death at all. So she hasn't got long left in this place at all. You hear next to you a scream, but you don't see what it is. Right. So that then, I would like you to make a strength saving throw, please, Kylan. And you probably get this normal because you would be.
It would be advantage
you get
because I'm
advantage
raging.
because you're raging. Let me just check blind again.
I think that's.
I just wonder if your blind state
Rage.
will negate that. Hang
How
on.
raging is. You have advantage in strength checks and strength saving throws, yeah.
Yeah, so it's only attack rolls that have advantage, so that's fine. Blinded creature can't see any ability check that requires sight. Yeah, so you feel this wind strong. You feel this
19.
wind. Yeah, you pass that. Vistra, on the other hand, does not. And unfortunately, she is going to get knocked out this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She skites past and slams into the dragon. But that knocks her out again, so she's down once more. So yeah, Vistra's in her final resting next to you, but you can't see it. The rest of you do, and it's like, no! You hear a shout from Gardain, no! And that is a big issue. So the dust has finished its turn. Karsat, you're up.
So can Karsat basically go, I'm getting really tired of these things, and use his storm guide ability on the thing again,
Yeah?
and just basically throw it at and through the dragon and just throw it to the far side of the map so it's out of the way of us at the moment.
Okay, yeah. You've got the number on these things. So you can lob that without any trouble. You control the wind this is grabbing, and it begins to dissipate, and the sand, as you move it, slams around the dragon. And it forms the sand around and then moves away across the other side of the cave. All right. Okay.
Movement from the other side of the dragon. And really, really hope I actually hit it this.
Nope.
Come on.
With a plus
Oh,
10.
plus 10. I've got to hit it eventually. Yep, nothing.
Nothing. Not having a good round. Kylon.
Okay. Right. Well, these attacks are obviously going to have to be reckless. So first up, we try and hit the dragon with the Warhammer. Yes. That one, it. What
Oh, wow.
beautiful thing to roll a nat 20 on.
Okay.
Very terrible.
Yeah. You roll that 20 and then a 1 for damage. It's not just a way of it. That's just life right there.
Yeah.
You have managed to find your mark, and
D6 would also be doubled, so a D6 there.
okay, so 12, 13, 19 points of damage to it.
There. Then we'll. Because it's an innate cantrip, we can cast Shocking Grasp.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have the rage damage on it because it's not a melee weapon attack. So just the 12 lightning, and the dragon no longer has a reaction.
Okay.
And then we'll try and hit it with Battle Axe. Does an 18 hit?
Nope.
No. It's fine.
So yeah, you're recklessly moving this attacks, just swirling about with the sand in your face, and the ability to actually hit this is down to your sheer tenacity and will. You managed to smash your hand through and find it. It's right in front of you. It's huge. No wonder you hit it. The lightning goes into it. Yeah, but you can't see what happens. The rest of you watch as a big spread of lightning appears over the leg of this beast and up, rippling across its scales, and it smiles and looks down, says, "Bow before me."
Callan just kind of shouts back at it, wordlessly.
Okay. Not having yielded, the lightning of this begins to sparkle in the back. It looks like it's building up a charge, and where are you guys? Variously. Down towards the entranceway, a huge pile of rocks come falling down, and the only person, it's not aimed at you, But LG, could you make a Dex saving throw, please, or you're going to get hit by some of the falling rock face.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, that had advantage. Wait, is that a saving throw or just a normal straight roll?
A Dex saving throw, yeah.
Alright.
That was just a check, I think. Not a save.
Oh, that was the one. Never mind. Alright.
You don't take the full brunt of damage, but yeah, you take 6 points as the cave just collapses. The cave mouth collapses around you. So that area now is all just rock and stone.
Okay.
LJ, your turn.
Cool. I believe I need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if my concentration spell still works, so we'll start with that. Oh, nice. And then I would like to cast Scorching Ray at 3rd level.
Okay.
That means that I get 3 beams of light at it. So 2d6 fire damage if that hits.
Yeah, 22 hits.
And I get to do that 3 times. Think. So, and that's the dragon. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to move, and then I was going to climb up here, and then I was going to do that. My bad. And then I'm also going to tell Jarrah to attack, and the Draconic Spirit will...
You cast that at 3rd level, you said?
Yeah, is that not right?
It'd be 3d6.
Oh, my bad.
Rather than 2. To roll another 3d6.
Okay.
You make a ranged spell attack for each ray.
Yes, I think you make 4 ray attacks, but they all do 2d6.
Yeah.
Confused. Anyway, all of them will hit. I will let Crow figure out what he wants to do for damage. There are a bunch of d6 rolls there. And yeah, so then Jarrah needs to attack, the Draconic Spirit needs to attack, and that's me done. So I will do those rolls quickly.
Can you please roll your ranged spell attack for Scorching Ray another 3 times, please? Because you have to cast them each individually. Ah, excellent. Hit. There we go. Right, anyway, they all hit. Now we've got the damage. Excellent. So the 3d6. Right, excellent.
Yeah. And then the Draconic Spirit will make 2 rend attacks, because I believe it has multi-attack, so they're both of those miss, and then blast its breath weapon on...
Okay. Dex save.
That, and then... Yeah.
It rolls a low number of 6.
Wonderful. And then
Takes 7 damage.
a bunch of flamey stuff also erupts from Jarrah. Oh shit.
Oh dear.
Sorry, my fan just fell over, which
Oh.
also knocked my copy over.
Oh no.
It's fine. And then Jarrah is basically just going to blast flame seed at it as well.
Okay. Yeah, that hits as well. Nice. Okay.
Oh, and I think I'll get like 1d8 or something of like extra stuff because there was a fire spell in there and it does fire damage, so that's cool.
And you can also now, if you're still feared, which I think you are.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you cleared it.
No,
Okay,
that was
good.
me.
Ah.
That was me. I'll roll my wisdom save. Good job, me.
It'll take a while.
It's going to take a while, yeah.
Okay. Are you under any other effect from Dragon? Don't think you are.
No.
Okay.
Do I get in about the blinded thing?
Yes. You get to roll for that as well.
What's that?
That is. Let me just double check. That is a con save.
Con save. Lovely.
Yes,
Wonderful.
you pass that. You're no longer blinded.
That is what I like to hear.
You are, however, recklessly attacking, which means that the next volley of attacks are at advantage against you, right?
Would have been at advantage anyway, pretty much.
So, okay. The beast leans down over you and it breathes at you.
Elon smiles.
And this rather large and long bolt of lightning shoots out from it, centered on top of your head, and then right out down across. And it successfully manages, probably, to force you to take a dex saving throw.
Which is at advantage now I can see.
Yep. And that is the number you need to roll. So, you take a quarter of this.
Yes.
You take a quarter. Let's call it 10. I don't think, however, that the dwarf behind you is in such good shape. Let's see how that goes. That's a low number, it's a 7. So the lightning passes through you seemingly without too much difficulty and channels out and arcs straight forward off the ground and into Magrid behind you, who just lights up for that period of time and sizzles a bit. Okay, now realizing that yes, it's interesting, says the beast in front of you. I think I'll just bite your head off instead.
You're welcome to try.
27 to hit.
Yep.
And the teeth come down. You take 17 points of damage and halved. So you don't take any lightning, and you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay, there we go.
And then oh no, ignore that. It does this twice as it tries to hit you.
Both of those miss.
Third, yeah. So you fend off its attack without too much trouble. And it begins to look a little bit hurt. as you observe it for the first time in a while. Gardain is going to try and stick another one of his bolts in it with his heavy crossbow. Does not do so. Adri.
We were supposed to roll initiative for Erin. I've completely forgot that she's meant to have her own initiative. Is it alright if she goes
Yep.
on mine?
Do it on yours, yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So, as there is telepathic bond between the pair of them, Adri would have given Erin the heads up that she needed her to get over to Vistra. So Erin is gonna do that. And then Adri is going to grumble about cannon fodder getting in the way. And like, bloody pedestrians, just leave it to the pros. And is going to cast Spare the Dying.
Okay.
Where Erin will use her reaction to deliver the spell to Vistra. It feels really weird talking about Vistra because that's the name of my other character in our other game.
It was random, I promise. Totally random.
Yeah, I believe you. So yeah, assuming she's not dead yet, she is now stable.
Stable, okay. Alright.
And can I please roll wisdom to try and get rid of this feared
Yes, at the end of your turn, yes please.
Yes, because I can't do anything else. What am I doing? Wisdom... Save. Come on.
Sorry, you still haven't managed to get across this terrible presence that this beast has. This big, giant beast. It does only last for a minute, however. I'll tell you that much. So.
It's only 10 rounds, not long at all.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the dragon beats its wings. Could I please ask Karsat, the Draconic Spirit, and Kylon to make a dex saving throw?
Yeah, if I roll above 10.
Saving throw.
Okay. Okay, so the Draconic Spirit and Karsat, you both take some damage. You get knocked prone. I'm just going to type this. There we go. So you both take 17 points of damage unless you've got any mitigation for that.
Evasion?
Yeah, so you half it. And then, having done that, it is going to move, and it's going to move quite a distance, so I'm going to have to, yep. Now, Kylon, you get attack of opportunity, but the other, if you want to make an attack of opportunity at disadvantage because you're prone.
Would it be prone?
You won't be.
So would it just be a normal roll then? Or ultra reckless.
Yeah, you're fine. You didn't get... So you can... Yeah, you hit with that. Carsat.
During
Oh, no,
this-
sorry. No, you don't. No, you don't. Sorry. No, you don't. I see it. 17, sorry. Read that wrong. No, you don't quite get it.
Just that hard. Okay, so straight roll. Or the Warhammer.
Yep, that hits.
That's the... Let me just check my thing to see if it applies. Okay. Doesn't apply that one.
Okay. 8 points.
Can the Draconic Spirit also make one?
Yeah. At
At
disadvantage.
disadvantage?
Yeah,
I need
'cause
to
it's
figure out how to do that on
being-
the sheet, but
I'll just roll twice and we can take the lowest of the two. Hey, okay. So that misses. Alright. Vistra's stable. Our friend. Weird. It's like, if I could just stay still, and then he begins to march. 1, 2, 3, 4. And trumps off up the hill. 40, 50, 60, as he runs up after it, holding his self and pulling up. Yeah, so he's chasing up after with his battle axe, running up the hill. The rather scorched looking Margaret begins a merry trip more or less up to where Kylon is running up. We've got it on the run, she says. Are you still controlling the wind, Carsat? Or is that just a one-off thing?
Let me double check. I believe it lasts till the beginning of my next turn, so it would still be a
Yeah,
thing.
okay, yep, that's fine. We'll go with that. Carsat, you're up.
So I'll just double check. I'm right about that. Till the end of my next turn, so yeah. So keep going. So I'll use half my speed stand up. 20 left. Here.
You're gonna have to expend some movement climbing up the ledges.
Okay, how much would that be then?
It's difficult terrain, so over 1 square, so you'll have difficult terrain transitioning from one section to the next. So what's your normal movement?
So 45, so 20 when I stand up, and so 10 would put me back to where I've currently target.
Okay.
So Curse, I'll look at the dragon and just go, for saying you're so strong and we should worship you, you run away quite a lot. And I will cast Tasha's Mind Whip.
Okay.
So, intelligence saving throw, please.
It's a big number, but it's not big enough. 15.
Excellent. So that's 11 psychic damage and extra fun stuff.
All the extra fun stuff. Describe that extra fun stuff, please.
So you no longer have a reaction, and on your next turn you have to decide if you're taking a move, an action, or a bonus action. You only get one of the choices. It's like slow light, not as good as slow, but a good halfway step.
Okay. I think that the dragon, hearing you, muttering magic spells, puts itself into a steel of mind, and despite having failed, it'll use its learned knowledge to use what its last remaining legendary resistance, and you feel it taken. And as you say that to the giant, to the dragon, he says, "I am not running away. You will be left here forever. Enjoy."
So you're leaving. Running away.
Fried. Yes. Okay.
Any damage? See? Still think so. Not half damage. So it still takes 5 psychic.
5 psychic, yeah. Alright. Kyle, and you watch as this thing rises right up to its full height on its legs, with its wings stretched. It's got its back to you.
Right. So, how much movement would I have to expend to get to it?
Every time you go, if you go the straight route, you will cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks of difficult terrain. So, what's your normal movement?
Currently 55.
So,
Oh no, hell, I can't move towards it. This is a problem.
oh, you're feared, aren't you? You haven't got rid of that yet. Aha, right enough.
Damn it.
Aren't you only scared of it if you can see it? What if you close your eyes?
Possibly. Don't know about that condition.
Then you're running blind, which is its own difficulties, I guess. But interesting. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, if you'll allow it.
Let me just quickly have a look at fear specifically.
I think line of sight is just the ability checks and attack rolls having disadvantage.
What does it say? It says frightful presence. You're frightened, aren't you? You're frightened specifically.
Yeah.
So condition frightened, yeah. You can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. A frightened creature within its line of sight. Yeah, okay, so you still can't move close to it. The line of sight thing is separate from moving close to it.
Right, sorry, can I use my bonus action as well and just move closer to the dragon?
Sure.
I can do that, sorry. I'll just like sprout wings and fly up to it.
Yes. Okay. It's a lot easier when you're flying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna hold our action then. On the off chance that we are no longer scared of it. We're going to run the fuck towards it.
Okay, fair play. Interesting. So a lot is riding. A lot is riding. I'll love it. I guess that's reasonably creative. So are you finishing your shot then, are you? You have already used your... Actually, you can't, can you? You've already used your action this round, so you can't do that, sorry.
Do you not get it back on the start of your turn?
You do, sorry, apologies, I'm forgetting where the dragon is. Yeah, you're right. No, it's the start of a new round. You still have it, go for it, make that, I like it, go for it, make it.
Okay, and we're going to use my inspiration to get advantage on this wisdom saving throw, and still absolutely going to fail it.
You never know. Go for it. Oh!
Holy shit!
Wow. Okay. It's a 21, not 20. He didn't even need the inspiration. Fantastic. I do think that it wouldn't have got away. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Like, go for it. What are you going to do now then? You said you were going to hold your movement. I'll allow that. How much movement do you have then to get up there?
I have 55 foot of movement.
Okay, so
we're going to try and plot a path that has the least amount of bits in the way.
So basically, yeah, five of those. 25 would be 50. So yeah. So you would be 55. You'd have 30. You'd have 30 foot if you go this direct route.
Wait, can I cut anything off of that if I go not so direct?
If you hold down the Q button.
If I go there, then there,
40,
there,
50, 55. You could get to, you could do that. Yeah, so you can get up within melee range of it.
Wonderful. We shall get up in melee range with it.
You run up. You parkour. You do a huge jump with your one hand. Your strength. You just push yourself up onto the first level. You take 3 strides, and you jump and do like a cat pass. You bring your legs through. You launch yourself in a double foot thing, and you spring off, flip up onto the next level, run, clamber, just like this, and you're at the top of your feet, and then the last one, you dive up onto it with your shoulder and roll onto your feet, and you reach out to grab this thing. It's this huge dragon with its wings outstretched with its back to you. Yeah, let's
Wonderful.
find out. Ildri.
Okay. Ildri is going to sort of scramble up here.
Yeah.
Would I be able to see the dragon from there now?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's standing right up. I mean, it has a bit of cover from... Nah, you're high enough. Go on. No cover.
Brilliant. I would like to cast Firestorm at 7.
Oh wow. Firestorm. Okay. You don't want this thing getting away.
And basically, I'm going to try and center as many of those cubes over the top of the dragon.
All right.
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to urge Jarrah forward.
Okay. So what we're looking for here? Dex saving throw. The number it rolls is a big one. It's 17, so it fails.
Brilliant. So yeah, it just gets erupted in flames as Ildri's spell slams into it.
It takes 7d10 fire damage.
Oh yeah, plus a d8, I believe, because I've got enhanced bomb.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes 40 points of fire damage.
40 points of fire damage. I'm just waiting for that roll. I mean, that's why I was waiting. 40 points of fire damage. The dragon is standing with its wings outstretched. It's about to jump up into the air. And just as it does this, well, what does this firestorm look like? And how badly does it eviscerate the dragon as it's standing up to full strength?
Wall of flame and fire, and it just reaps through it. Karsat and Kylon probably would feel this like extreme heat, like they've just opened a furnace door or something, and just like washes over them, and it just like ripples through.
Its wings are tarred and burned. Its body is blackened, and it crashes to the ground. And as it does so, smashes the ground underneath it, and a hole appears. And its body begins to slide down its head, and it then stops as its wings just catch onto some stone, and the claw stops it from moving. Its head down in this tunnel. It's dead. It did not escape. It was just about to, and would have done this turn. But yeah, you eviscerated it. You completely turned it into roast dragon. It's completely gone. The stench of this dragon just having been destroyed. And Karsat, right in front of you. The death of a blue dragon. Not Karsat the Great, Karsat the Wise, Karsat the Almighty. Somebody who would dare slight that very same Karsat. Adri, you were flying up and you just watched this inferno appear, lighting up the whole cave. Like meteor storm just landing down through this and its body being wrecked. Strangely, Kylon, you weren't the one to finish this fight. The realization that you weren't the last one to do that. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but it wasn't you. But you were very impressed, I guess, by the fire.
Mixed feelings, because it was running away. So it's a coward's death, but also it would have been great for the stories for him to kill it. But you know, we can rectify that later.
Mildred just sort of sighs and scrambles over the rocks to like get a better look at what she's just done. And she's kind of staring at this thing, and I would like to turn it into cauterizing flames. So basically, its body is basically now a healing pot for anyone that needs it. Because I'm not just going to crispify it, I'm going to insult its body as well.
Oh wow, okay, so describe what happens here? Like, having just destroyed it, what does it look like for everybody else? What are you doing?
So the flames sort of turn, Karsat and Kylon would be able to feel that the flames kind of turn from like ridiculously hot and almost uncomfortably hot to sort of more of like a warm hug. Like they're kind of just there, and you can sort of, there's this feeling of like warmth, like sitting next to a hearth. So.
Dragonfire. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. It flickers for a minute. The flames change from being something that could burn you and take your skin off to being spectral in nature. Wow. Right. The healing or damage equals 2d10 plus wisdom mod. Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll for the healing that everybody receives that's gathered around it? I mean, I guess the dwarves are there too, right? So.
Yeah. Plus my wisdom mod is like 5. So 13, maybe? Yes.
Okay.
I guess somebody probably should drag what's her face, Vistra, to.
Now the dwarves would probably pick up. If you shout that, then the dwarves would do that. So yeah, she comes back once again with 13 points to her name. Your draconic spirit is probably by this time.
Yeah, no, I lost interest in keeping that up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you look at it, and the blue lightning arcs, they seem to be energy returning back into the dragon. They seem to be just fizzling gently. Gardain notices it. He's like, "Oh, you bugger!" And you can see him. He hops out to one side as this lightning streaks out and into the body from multiple sides. And then the lights go out, and you're left in darkness.
Oh, I think Jarrah actually gives off light.
Okay. How much light does Jarrah give off?
I just need to find where that is. Sorry, there is a lot of shit on this character sheet.
It goes very dark. The last remnants of the blue light dissipates. The cave that glows no longer does so. The only light that you have as this happens is from a flying bird high up in the cave.
I'm not entirely sure that it's Jarrah, but I can use control flames to make fire anyway, so
Okay.
we now are lit up, I guess, around us.
You have some torchlight. How much light are you giving off? 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only light you can see, other than your dark vision, but the only colour light that you can see, for those of you that have dark vision, is centred around Ildry, her face glowing in the dark. The same colour of the flame that you saw rip the blue dragon, who identified himself as Calanthius. He said that his name was Calanthius of the Dust Sea. He is absolutely no longer anything of anywhere other than this cave. But that presents you a bit of a problem.
So, who knows the way out? It isn't blocked.
Is there sand
Yep.
on the floor?
Yeah, there's sand on the floor.
Does it look like it's kind of continuous everywhere rather than just sort of mounds like in the library?
Not really. It's separated by the different platforms that have been dug out or ripped out, or however this place was formed by its inhabitant.
I mean, Kylon, you've still got sandbag, right?
Alan kind of looks over his shoulder into his bag. The sandbag's still in the bag.
You see him as you open the bag. You've got dark vision, right? He's just grey against your He's grey, and you don't really see like a huge amount, but you can see it shifting in the sand. in the bag, it's moving. Then you hear it. Well, did you kill it?
Of course I did. He kind of dumps sandbag out of the bag to look at the dragon.
Oh yes, okay. And sandbag, you just see the earth just disappear, like the size of where he is, just. And he, yeah, and then, you hear him just say, be right back. And he grunts, and then he just the mound of sand that was sandbag disappears into the ground.
Alan just kind of starts to say, "Don't go too far," and then just stops.
Let me try and get some light on. Night vision, night. Emits bright light. 5 feet. That's not going to work. Hang on a minute. Yeah, so this bright light you see just glowing like a fire centered around Eltree. Yeah, your night vision taken. There we go. I'm on roll 20. There we go. Oh. Quite sure. Oh yeah, so Garden, right, he lights a torch as well. Just take that. We'll take that opportunity. I can't get you to light up, Eltree. I'm not sure what's happening. Your torch doesn't seem to be as bright in roll 20 as it is in the cave of the dragon. But let's just say that that Garden gets a torch and lights it up and comes standing over you. And he says, the thing was going to go down that tunnel. And he points with his torch, and it riffles the noise with the fire.
Yeah. Perhaps we should check it out. Thank you. And Ildry just kind of turns to where Jarrah is. Thank you, friend. And there's just like a soft screech as Jarrah just disappears in a sea of flames.
Okay. So you're sending Jarrah down to have a look?
No, I'm just getting rid of her.
Oh, you're getting rid
entirely.
of her. Right, okay. So yeah, disappears. Okay.
Arthur raises his hand and go, I'll go scouting. This may not have been a great blue dragon, but I don't really want to look at the score. And Karst will start heading towards the indicated tunnel to see the tunnel and scout out a bit and see if there's a way out through it.
You slide down the tunnel. It's a bit of a drop, so you have to use your skills in not falling flat on your arse at the bottom of it. It curves gracefully at the bottom, and it is more or less a straw for a dragon. There's enough room for it to beat its wings. The initial drop is like a smaller funnel, but it opens up at the bottom, so it's wide enough. You get the feeling that there's maybe a bit of a natural cave system down here that it's got itself into. And yeah, so that you see that quite quickly, that the dragon obviously had an intended escape route out of here. Where it goes, you do not know, but at least that's something, right?
Karst will come back to the group and go, well, good news, probably a way out. Bad news, natural cave system. I have no idea what it is.
Should we maybe take some time to regroup before we get out of here?
Having a sit down's probably not the worst idea.
I know I asked this last week. What kind of time of day are we?
We are in mid-afternoon, I believe. So you've still got a bit of time ahead of you before you can take another long rest. You had a rest by the treehouse in the sand, which was a tree, an oasis. You didn't roll high enough for like the full platforms and stuff, but it wasn't bad. The fact that you found clean water in the desert, the edge of the desert, the melt from the huge mountain range above you, was quite impressive. So yeah, you had a long rest not so long ago, but it's up to you what you want to do now. You can hang out in the cave. You can begin to trek through the cave system.
I mean, does anyone need a short break before we go on?
I'm okay.
Alright, I just thought people might wish to, heal or whatever.
Oh, well, if we're all happy to move on, and our dwarven companions she'll turn to Adri will turn to Gardain. Say, if you wish, you are all welcome to rest up here while we go on ahead.
He looks down.
I don't think any of us know our way through the caves, and we wouldn't be offended if you decided that, given Vistra has come close to death twice, if you felt that your agreement with us was completed and you just wanted to return.
He looks down. He looks at Vistra. Vistra just shakes her head and says, No. Clearly I'm not meant to be much longer for this world. I would like to see Stone Shield again. But whatever is down there means that Stone Shield can be kept going. And for the young ones, and she looks over, as the other dwarves are walking up the hill. You need to get back and speak to that decrepit old white mountain dragon. It's business. We'll be lucky if it doesn't just decide to wipe us off the edge of the mountain. No, we need to get up there soon. I don't want any delay.
Would going back the way we came, I know there's been a cave-in, but would clearing that cave-in and taking a known route back potentially be faster than getting lost in natural caves?
It took you a few hours.
I was going to say, she is doing her level best to convince them to go away.
Roll persuasion. Oh.
24.
Gardain looks and says, Hey, Vistra, you're in no shape to be walking through. We don't know what's down there. We'll make a start on that rockfall. We've done what we needed to do. We've no reason to expect that the white beast of Elskara will... well, who knows what that curmudgeon will do, but let's get over. We'll go back this way and we'll be able to report back. We'll get to the head of the Drover's Path And if we're lucky, we'll be home this time tomorrow. Guardian reaches out his hand. Thank you. Thank you all. You didn't need to join us. That was our fight. Stone Shield is your home. And if you manage to clear that infernal thing, wherever it is, the big wall of dust, use this. We'll see you. And he hands you a small token with a rune on it that you've seen in parts of Stone Shield Outpost. It looks a bit like their emblem. Just think of us in the snow, and we'll see you. That should be enough. I wish I could give you more, but it's been a pleasure. Now, we're going to go and have a look at these rocks.
Is there anything left of the dragon?
You were the one that was burning it. How did you do it? Extra crispy or medium rare?
I don't know. I was just thinking maybe they should take back a claw or something to like prove to Old White that like they'd actually managed to, defeat it.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Audrey's kind of sifting through the thing and muttering to herself about over-crispifying things.
It has a big tooth at the back of its mouth, which is quite distinctive. It looks a little bit out of shape. It looks a bit peculiar. And so you grab that out from the pile of ash and dust.
Here, you should take this with you. I'm sure Old White will be very happy to see proof of the fight.
Aye. With any luck, just the fact that it isn't trying to knock it out of the sky will be sufficient. Thank you. Now, that you've got. You remember the snow, right? You remember the cold?
We remember the cold.
Yes.
I think some of that snow's still in my boots.
Don't forget it. Remember it. And think on it when you're holding that. If you clear that dust, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Appreciated. And make sure to tell everybody else about my glorious victories.
there will be stories told, and if you should ever find your way back, you will be given a hero's welcome. All of you. Stone Shield is your home. And we'll see you back.
Thank you.
Karsak smiles and waves at the all of you part.
Yeah, and dwarves make their way past you. Gardain holding up Vistra. And you hear them talking, and Weird and Rizwin and the rest of the dwarves make their way down toward the rock pile. Happy to be replete in their numbers as they were when they came down. And you hear some low chanting going as they begin the work of clearing the rockfall. Looking at their torches and the light that they've got down there, it's going to take them a while. You think it's going to be a good couple of days' labour for them, but they've got rations and they're well accepted. They're used to working in these kind of situations. So, what now?
I guess we... Where is Sandbag? Did anyone see where they went?
I put him in the sand so he could go see the dragon. Sandbag! Oi, Sandbag, where are you?
Dude, why not shout to see if he wants another staring contest? It's not like he can
Good
resist
idea.
it. Or been able to resist it so far.
Kylan immediately calls for a breath holding and staring contest at the same time.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh great, I'm wonderful at those.
Can he have it with advantage if I'm helping?
Yeah, go for it.
That's got to make a huge difference with my -1.
Gotta be bad at something.
Yeah, and when you say, you hear a kind of muffled voice from behind in the dark somewhere. You see this? Seems to be coming from above you. Not right above you, but just like somewhere up. It's coming, echoing off the roof of the cave, and he's not flying.
Is he grabbing his band?
Yeah, flying.
I mean, Carsten's already made one of those go spinning out.
I'll just make the cool at the flag last.
Kylan gets very confused and starts looking up and not seeing sand.
Did we all hear Sandbag?
Yeah, you all heard them, yeah.
Climbs up to get a better look at the dragon corpse.
It is a huge, huge beast, and given how crispy and much magical and non-magical flames that you've put on it, you were in control of the fire, so you can determine how much that is left of it, but it's definitely less than half.
I'd say it's probably like... sort of like that point, there's a few bits of it that haven't quite burnt all the way through, but its bones are maybe at the point where if you touch them, they kind of crumble. Like, maybe its teeth and stuff being slightly different are, you know, more intact, but everything else is definitely very charred, grilled looking, to the point of powder.
Kylan goes up with his axe and tries to like cut off a steak, and then looks over at Eldre and says, "You burnt dinner."
I mean, I've never claimed to be a cook. That's usually past that.
All the fire.
Yeah.
You cook everything.
I incinerated it. That was what we were supposed to be doing with it.
I mean, you could have left some of it as edible.
Why would anyone want to eat a dragon?
So they can say they ate a dragon.
Right.
Kylon goes hacking with the battle axe to see if there's any bit of meat available.
I feel like the bones are just going to explode in little puffs of like... like there's literally nothing there.
Yeah. Oh dear. Unlucky, Kylon, unlucky. Every time you look back to its haunches, all you're finding are claw ends and teeth and the ends of horns and nothing of any meaty substance. Everything that contained any water has been dramatically dehumidified. It's just not there. It's turned to dust.
Very upsetting.
But there are some interesting looking teeth.
I suppose we'll take a few of those.
Yeah. Add a number between 1 and 40 dragon teeth to your inventory. If he's got ideas of recreating the jaw of Calanthius, then maybe he needs all of the ones that are available, or a smaller version. Yeah.
Probably just be 2 or 3 takes.
Yeah.
Enough that you wouldn't just stumble across them, so you can definitely, show that the dragon was dead for him to get that. So maybe like 5 or so.
Yeah. Okay, add them into your inventory. Adri, what have you been up to during this whole excavation of the deed dragon?
Not particularly interested in smouldering corpse. So probably been having a little bit of a wonder, but when Sandbagger replied, she would have been interested in sort of like, he said, "There's a thing. Come see this. There's a mystery. There's knowledge." And yeah, they're her hooks. She would have been trying to figure out where he was.
Roll me a d6, please, Adri.
Five.
Oh ho ho. You find you follow the voice. It's up a bit higher. Sandbag's managed to find his way up, and he's found a small pile of some of the things that you might expect that a dragon might. Not much, not anywhere close to a full horde, but there is stuff there. Some of it valuable looking. But what, of course, the sandbag that was taken from a library is interested in is books. And with your dark vision, you see this grey puddle of sand in front of something, and you hear his voice. Hey, look! It's one of mine! It's from the library.
One that gone missing recently?
It's been a while. I always get them back.
Is it just that one that's yours?
No, these ones are from the other place, the School of Magic. They're not mine. I'm not worried about them.
So you'd have no issues with me taking them?
If that's what you're interested in. Strange choice. But I just need... gonna get that guy up here. I need him to carry this for me.
Adri will shout down to Kylon to come up and see what has been found.
Kylon will glance back at the dragon, wondering if there's anything else he can maybe investigate to see if there's something they can eat, and then give up and go look at the whatever it is they found.
Yeah, so you follow the voices, and it's a book about herbs, ancient herbs of the northern dust sea around the city. And he looks at you and says, "Here, get this, take this. Give it to the dwarves, they can take it back. This is one of mine. I want it back where it belongs. We always get them back."
Sure. Kylon kind of looks at it, not really understanding why he'd want it back, but not wanting to upset him at the same time. And then I suppose he'll shout to see if the dwarves can still hear him.
Yeah, and variously somebody you meet halfway and you hand it over, and you explain what it is and confused terms, and the dwarf goes, "Aye, we'll make sure that we put it back in the shelf. That I've no idea what the decimal system is. What's he talking about?"
No idea either. Just
We'll put
it back on a shelf.
We'll
He'll
put it
never
on
know.
a shelf. Never know. Right, that's fine. And goes back off to meet his horse. Adri. You find a book. Out of all the books that are there, you find a book that looks like it's been given a fairly powerful position. Like, I mean, it's a pile of stuff, but this book particularly catches your eyes. You open it up. And you are washed with a sense of dread. Could I get a wisdom saving throw from you, please, as you pick this book up? As you open the first page, you see one word written on it. Something about this book menaces the back of your mind. Absolute build-up of terror in the back of your head reaching through, and you close the book shut. And the feeling passes.
You can pull a leather strap out of her bag and bind it around the book so it can't be opened accidentally. I was going to shove the book in her bag.
The feeling passes. You return back to the cave and feel that there are other things up here that would be of interest. Are you going to look around?
Yep. If this looks to be where the dragon's hoard is, having a pretty good rummage,
Yeah.
seeing what he's got.
Okay. Are you using anything to help you look, or are you relying upon your innate vision?
I haven't got anything unless I want to set fire to stuff, like fireball kind of setting fire to stuff. Haven't really got much in the way of anything that would help, so purely relying on taking her time and what she's got, although she will probably have shouted to the others that she is rummaging, and there appears to be a hoard, so if anyone wants to come up, particularly if they can add to the light that's up here to help rummage, then come look.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus. Come up. Get away from the body he's trying very hard not to look at.
So yeah, having some light up definitely helps.
It's got full flames and can also light his on fire. He's very helpful like that.
Everybody who's having a rummage, if you, and assume that you're rummaging and not just looking, so if you could roll me investigation each. Anybody who's up there looking.
I mean, Callan's probably delivering his book still, but
Aye.
he would come back and help.
Yeah. So roll as well, wouldn't you?
Oh, sorry. I mean, terribly early.
Okay. Karsat. There's a reasonable amount of coin and gems. You don't stand to count it all, and you could if you wanted to. But as you're kind of rummaging about, you find some recognizable currency. Not too shabby. And maybe you do spend a bit of time, I don't know, looking at that. But yeah, so that's your find. Ildri, at the other end of the table, could I please get a D6 roll from you?
Sure.
You find a stick, and on top of the stick there is a frog.
Cool.
It's quite unusual having a dead frog attached to a stick, but the stick appears to be in some form of stasis. It's not decomposing or decomposed. It's not petrified. It's definitely a frog.
Is it like skewered by the stick? Or attached in some other way?
It looks like there's some sort of attempt to actually hold it in place with a piece of metal to try and grip it comfortably. I don't know. It's strange. You might need to get somebody to identify that, possibly.
Yep.
And assuming that you do, I'll tell you that it's actually a wand of polymorph.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
I was really hoping you were going to say wand of frogs.
I think I have summon elemental, summon woodland creatures or something. I could just do a heap of frogs one time.
I mean, the thing is, it can be a wand of frogs as long as they polymorph it into frogs.
I think sort of like a swarm of like the rats in Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, like that. Frogs.
I will drop that into your
Sweet.
inventory.
I kind of like the idea of Ildry just not identifying it and then just waving it at someone and waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Thinking of frogs while doing it.
I don't know that that's necessarily something that she would do.
There you go.
So we'll figure that out. Thank you.
You've got a description of that. Okay. Kylon, could I please get you to roll a d6? 1. You pick up a small bead, and then it smells of lightning. And then it passes, and it doesn't smell of anything. And you think, wait a minute, that's strange. It smelled of lightning. And then it smells of lightning again. It's just that smell of electricity charged. In fact, anybody that's standing within about 15 feet of Kylon will also smell it as he picks it up. And so, yeah, you have a small bead. What this actually does is it allows you to produce an illusory smell of the owner's choosing within a 15-foot radius at will.
Okay. I like that. That has a lot of potential.
I can't believe you rolled a 1 on that table. Of all the things you could have had, you got that one.
I mean,
Oh,
you have
I quite
just
like this.
given Kylon
I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
of a magical whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
Although maybe better Kylon than Lyle.
Yeah.
Definitely better Kylon than Lyle.
Yeah. Shiny rocks, gold. Adri, you've got that book. There's something both enticing and fearfully dreadful about it. It's a intoxicating power that you've got off it, but also one of just, yeah, you definitely are intrigued by it, but equally that sense of dread just isn't as palpable as it was when you were looking at it, but you still remember it and you go back into that. But as you're looking through, give me a D100 roll, please.
Yeah. 65.
65. You find a potion. I will tell you what it is, but yeah, you will at some point get it identified, but it's a potion of mind reading.
Cool.
Yeah. Karsat, roll me a D100 as you're raking through all of this gold. $77. You find a first level spell scroll. It doesn't look like it's up to very much, but useful.
Fancy.
Okay, and in terms of loot, what do you guys get in terms of gold? What was the gold that you were totting up quickly in your head as you were looking at it? Karsat, give me another D100, please. 18. Okay. You find a bunch of like objet d'art, just curiosities that are made of things. The stuff that you can easily grab and take would be around about 250 gold pieces worth. And then, yeah, in terms of gems, you find what equates to like round about 500 gold pieces worth. And for coin, just basic coal, you get round about. There's probably round about 7,000 gold coins. I mean, how Karsat would know that, but if you're looking for a figure, then that's it there. So you've netted about, if you can carry, if you want to take it, if there's anything you can do with it, 7,750 gold pieces worth of various stuff, plus the items that you've got.
Will it fit in the bag of holding?
Yeah, why not? I don't want to sit here and work out the volume of 7,000 gold coins versus that. We did the hypotenuse last week. That's it for math in the whole campaign. None more.
Thank God.
Somebody else want to make note of that, because I can't see well enough to make notes.
What do we end up, like 7k of gold coins or something?
Yeah, 7k gold coins, 250 valuable objects at some point, trinkets and cups and rings and such of no magical import, and 500 gold pieces of gem. I think the dragon itself has been burnt into a crisp. You've got the teeth from it. There's a few bits of horn left, and the various other items. There is stuff here, but you know fine well that if you could find this dragon's hoard, its real hoard, then you know that it would be spectacular. This is just a fraction of it. The dragon alluded to as much. And maybe given time, this place could have been vast, but certainly somewhere in the Sea of Dust is this Calanthius' home.
Can we take 10?
Yeah, it's a good point, for sure. We have returned, and we are ready to go through and find out what's going to happen in this dark cave that you find yourself in. You are in a dark cave with little light. Fortunately, the lightning that was sparking around it has subsided. The dragon corpse is a charred, barbecued, forgotten about, left there. The natural cave system that you know exists underneath has opened its way to you. The dwarves are busy clearing a huge rockfall. It's probably going to take them about 2 days to get there, but you know, they could come with you, but you persuaded them not to because you didn't want them around. Adri, yeah.
We didn't want to accidentally kill them by, I don't know, unleashing Thunderstep en masse.
Firestorm, because that's been really effective.
If they get away in shock and all, that's their own fault.
Especially as their cleric didn't want to come with them.
Yeah.
No idea why.
No idea why, says the kobold in the party.
Rude, really.
Into just.
No, shouldn't go anywhere without your healer.
Religion of the dwarves, a strict doctrine. They're not your problem anymore. What are you going to do?
Follow the caves and see how lost we get.
Seems like an excellent plan.
Yep.
You make your way down into the darkness of the caves, and you discover what you would perhaps have expected. Large, sizable cavernous caves and tunnels leading in a direction that I don't know if any of you can tell. Underground. Do any of you have any abilities or special ways of knowing which way is which?
As soon as I find out where your background is set, I think I've got the one which means I can't get lost.
I knew there was a reason we had you in the party. And it definitely wasn't for hitting dragons.
Excuse me, I am the chef, and you will be going home in it. I've got Outlander, but I can't find a way to actually put it in thing.
Yeah, so hang on a minute. Let's just do this. Interesting. I might have to put one of our dwarven friends back on the map just so that chat can see. That's peculiar. Nope. I'll refresh. So, hopefully, no. Okay. Yeah, so you are in this cave system. It's very dark. What are you doing? How are you making your way around? There we go. What are you going to do? You walk down into the caves. You can see ahead of you there's a cave system leading off in front that follows the direction. There's some smaller tunnels that lead off to various sideways. But the larger tunnel you estimate is one that the dragon could fly. Might be a good indication that you have to head in that general direction.
Well, the dragon did describe itself, as part of its name, say that it was from the Sea of Dust. So, following the passageways that look big enough for the dragon, theoretically gives us the greatest chance of getting to the exit.
Okay. So, you're in this dark cave and you follow the widest path. The widest path goes on and on. It is certainly easier walking down here than it was on the sands above, but I'm not sure yet if any of you know which way you're heading. It does appear that this path itself will keep going for as long as it needs to, and every now and again you see natural paths just crisscrossing, coming to it. The smell down here is dry. There doesn't seem to be a lot of moisture. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be a lot of heat either, and you certainly haven't seen any lava yet, and that maybe fills you a little bit dry. So you generally relatively comfortable as you are walking. The idea of keeping going for how long until how long do you keep walking on this cave before you stop and do something? You've probably you've got a nighttime rest ahead of you at some point, because you haven't, at this point you won't have rested for a while, so you've probably got about another 7 hours walking, so you could maybe cover 9 miles. It's fairly easy going, walking. Do you walk until you're tired? Do you stop beforehand?
I think we probably would keep walking, because I think we'd probably want to be chatting a little bit about what's just happened. And we've probably got some stuff, like we probably need to, while we're travelling along, write a report back home to our handler.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ildry would also like to talk about the fact that she'd seen those lava snake things from a few sessions ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were weaving through the lava and potentially could be carrying information backwards and forwards. Now, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, as far as sending back to handler, sending messages back to handler, Adri's just going to sort of say, it's like, yeah, I can't write, read, and walk. Too much.
It's fine. We'll do it when we rest.
Yeah.
There's the same effect.
Okay.
I've got some things to identify anyway when we do that.
Okay.
Maybe you could do this weird frog stick thing, and Ildry just kind of waves it, not at anybody, just...
Sure, after I find out what this bead does.
Yeah, that bead does not require attunement, so that is good news. So you spend a bit of time getting to grips with the various items that you have, and you discover that you have a small bead that has the ability to produce an illusory smell of your own choosing within a 15 feet radius at will. You discover that you have a wand of polymorph. Does Adri give Kylan the book?
You said there was a word written on the first page of it. Could she read the word? So, language she doesn't know. Did she recognise the script?
Roll history?
$15.
It was ornate. Ancient tomes that you've discovered have ancient writing. It certainly looked old. It looked authentic. But where from? You're not sure.
She wouldn't hand it over while we're walking. That would be we've stopped, we're all concentrating on what we're doing. But she would talk to him about it and sort of say about, I found there was a book. Gave her a feeling of dread. She doesn't recognise the script. And has he encountered anything like that as the dragon was keeping hold of it?
Okay. You get to the point walking in this tunnel that you do feel tired. As best as you can tell. This is a time that it would make sense to have a break. To rest up, perhaps. Meditate. We spent a long time underground walking, and it's been relatively easy going for the most part. Have you done anything to try and ascertain what direction you're moving in?
Survival and my background means I understand geography really well.
Okay. Let's have a survival roll.
Nope, I can't roll tonight. Have fun, guys.
The rock. At points, as you're rising up, it begins to look a bit sandy. And then you dip down again, and it looks a little bit like it's right. You definitely think you're under the sand. Probably you think that's the best that you can do. As to what direction you're heading in, you have no idea.
Alan will ask Sandbag where they're going. See if he's got any ideas. Offer him a trade of a breath holding competition or directions.
So you open up, and he just stares at you. What? You think I'm a rock bag? What? It's just rock. What am I going to do with it? I'll take the steering competition. Let's go.
It was breath holding, and you know it.
And you see him inflate as if he's actually trying to take a breath.
Kellen does the same.
And you walk along, and they're Gnassi having a breathing competition with a sandbag that talks.
Yep.
And thinks, and is somewhat surly. That carries you to the end of the time under this tunnel. You are tired. You've been walking for a long time, and you get the sense that if you were to continue, you would probably get somewhat exhausted.
Sounds like a good time to rest.
Roll for underground treehouse. And if you get a 20, I swear it.
Actually, in fact, I've not rolled above. I've rolled above 10 twice tonight, and one of them was an 11.
Okay. Well, this is a treehouse roll.
Treehouse.
Roll for treehouse.
Who's rolling?
I don't know, anything but Kylon.
First, I ain't doing it.
I'll do it.
Go.
Doing treehouse.
Treehouse!
How? How?
What the fuck?
I just have to deal with this curse now. Whenever there's an opportunity for a treehouse, the game delivers.
The dice gods love their tree houses.
You are underground in a cave under the desert. You have been walking for miles, and just at the point that you feel that you're getting tired, you hear the sound of water. The sound of water intensifies. The air begins to take a rather clear tone. You smell fresh grass wafting down the draft of the cave. You walk forward and the rock turns to beautiful, lush green grass. You hear the fall of water, more powerful than it has, and it's cool here. It's cool. You walk round the corner. The path leads down where the water that's falling from the roof hits the ground, and you see light. A purplish glow. A purplish glow. Flickering high up. And as you get closer, you realize the light is obscured by a tree. There's a ladder coming down, and at the bottom, there's a bell on a rope.
Do we ring the bell?
Hildry just kind of glances over. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. Do we trust it?
Treehouse in the middle of the cave? Absolutely.
I suppose.
I'll go first if you want.
I mean, you can ring the bell if you can reach it.
Karstag glares at you. There's a flip clear over your head and then goes and rings the bell.
Surefire way to make you do it.
Yep. I do not appreciate the short jokes.
It's the only time I can make them at you.
Valid point.
Stairs appear as you ring the bell. The stairs fold down from the trunk of the tree and land neatly in front of you. At the top of the stairs, the door opens, and outside comes a small gnome.
Oh.
Hey, welcome. And he looks about. Where are we?
In a cave.
I see that. could you perhaps be a little bit more specific?
Under the desert.
Dragon's Cave?
A what?
A dragon's cave.
I don't want to be in a
Don't worry.
dragon's cave. How did we...
Don't worry, it's dead now. So I suppose it's our cave now, but
You went
it
to
was a
the
dragon's
cave?
cave.
Do we really want a cave? We've already got pubs. They're hard enough to manage.
It's ours until we're out of it.
Fair.
Well, you better come in then. Come in before the dragon wakes up and decides it's had enough of you taking over its cave.
Oh, it's dead. It's not coming back.
Are you sure?
Well, it looks like ashes at the end.
Very sure.
Very
It was a little
sneaky,
bit crispy.
very sneaky beasts. Dragons are. You never be too sure with them.
I don't think it can recover from being burnt to ashes. I couldn't even find anything to eat on it.
Nothing. Not even a little bit of sinew.
It all just crumbled to dust when I tried.
Eldry's just carefully buffing her nails against like the bottom of her tunic.
You know, it's strange. Just this morning, we were getting some maintenance done. And a really peculiar, strange group just appeared out of nowhere and offered to help. I had a strange feeling that today was just going to get even more weird. I'm definitely not in Bitopia now. Well, can I get you a drink? I suppose would be the question.
If you would allow us to rest within your treehouse, that would be very much appreciated.
We've got some nice, comfortable beds, and we've got lots of food. And actually, things have stopped falling apart now, so I assume that we've definitely not anywhere in Bitopia. Oh, well. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, no. Tell me that we're not here and this is all just a chaotic vision. We're not in the chaos. No, we're not in the Sea of Chaos. No, please, no. It's not. No, I've not. No. We must be somewhere nicer. Please tell me that we were somewhere nicer.
Garfield looks him in the eyes and just goes, "We are somewhere nice."
Thank you. I feel much better now. I'll get you a drink. And he
Is it a strong drink?
mumbles as he walks out of the room. So you've got this lovely space to contend with. I have summoned you a treehouse, and this is the treehouse that you find yourself in. The purple leaves didn't quite come out, but we got the purple in, so just imagine that it's all nice and glowing. There you go. This is where you are. You found a treehouse in a cave.
I love that you had that prepared just in case.
There's a lot of tree houses, to be fair.
I am now gonna generate like just 20, just randomly with different things. Just why not? I'm gonna have a sheet with a multi-sided token on it, so that you get a different one every time you roll a 20. You only get that. So the dwarves are left. They've missed out. They've totally missed out. They should have come to you. They'd have loved it here.
The only time we can guarantee a good roll.
I love how no one wanted to make that roll either. We were all just sort of waiting for the.
You were just waiting for roll 20 you're in tune. Yeah, it's a great treehouse. It's a fantastic treehouse. You have managed to. I don't believe it. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. We're ready. We're done. So you get your long. You're in a treehouse. There's a gnome. Yeah, there's a gnome. And the gnome looks after you very well. You have a lovely long rest in the treehouse. It's a fantastic long rest in the treehouse, and yeah, I mean you can chat. You can chat with the gnome. I suspect if you need to. That's certainly possible. If not, we can carry on and continue our way.
So Adri would get out her tome, turn to the page for doing sending, and in blocks of 25 words. It's been like a whole year this week. My brain is not gonna try and attempt to fit everything we have done since we left the outpost in real life into blocks of 25, but she can do this. She's well versed in it, and she's just kind of chunking it out each time. And I would assume that, or my expectation would be that as Euphemia, our handler, has been on the receiving end of these the whole time she has been our handler, she doesn't feel the need to respond to everyone. She is just responding at whatever point she feels is appropriate.
Yeah.
So if Euphemia has any nuggets of wisdom or general guidance beyond don't get eaten.
Euphemia, yeah, so seeing the more extensive time that you're taking to communicate with Euphemia, she is happy to advise. She reminds you that you have only 30 days. She says that there has been a breach of security at the palace, but there was no harm done to the king or queen. They managed to defend with their internal security, but questions have been asked of one of the lords back in Neil Dra. She doesn't go to say which. She is able to say that she's happy with your progress, and that she is glad that you are facing the wall, and that you must find a way over it, through it, under it. However, it is a reminder that not to get too distracted and carry on with your mission.
Cool. Adri's final message back to her would be, to say that we are now heading, as far as we are aware, we are now heading into the Sea of Dust and plan on continuing the mission.
Okay.
Adri would also have shown the Dread Fuel book to Ildri.
Okay. Who would open it, I guess?
The same feeling of dread passes over you when you open this book. Whispers in your head, words unformed, noise, sound unpleasant. You cannot bring yourself, try as you might, to look away initially, but roll a wisdom save, please. You look at the word one more time and close the book. You're able to pull yourself away from it. There was a word trying to form itself in your mind. You blocked it out.
Would I recognize the language? I've got with Abyssal, Elvish, Giant, Umbral, and Druidic. You don't have to say which one it is, just if any of them.
You try to separate the thoughts from your head to make a sense of the noise. You focus, you meditate, you listen, you try the stramash, the maelstrom of voices in your head. Focus, no, there, one pattern. Kill.
Okay. I feel like this might not be a particularly great book, Adri.
I do kind of get that feeling as well, but rather intrigued.
Yeah. Mildred kind of just presses her fingers to her temples and rubs them a little bit, as though she's got a headache, and then sort of shakes it off.
The thing is, the way this was, I don't know, the way it was in the Horde with the other books, it suggested it had pride of place and was important to Karstakivar or whatever his name was. But Karsat said that Blue Dragon was gloating about having attacked, having hurt, killed, maybe? I wasn't really listening, don't tell him. About real Karsat. No, Karsat. There we go. Is it worth suggesting he has a look? What do you think, Hildry?
Maybe? I mean, it was a dragon's tome. If anyone's going to know anything about dragons, it'd be Karsat.
Adri's and put a hand in a pocket, pull out this really old, tattered coin. It's bent, it's scuffed, fiddle it around a bit, flip it, not look at the actual outcome of it at all, because she's already made up her mind, and oh, this might be a stupid idea. Karsat?
Yes?
And she'll explain about the book and hand it to him.
Cursor opens the book.
The same feeling. A power of dread. Roll a wisdom save as it tries to inveigle its way into your mind.
Is this a fear effect? I've technically got advantage on those saves.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Roll. The noise of this, the sheer bedlam that accompanies this page, this book, this thing, this is horrible. You see an image of some two-legged form. You hear something you don't understand. The figure in front of you, shadow in dark mist, falls to the ground. And you startle back. The book closed in front of you.
Oh, that's unpleasant. Oh. Carter will explain what he kind of saw happened in his head.
Do we want to continue looking at the book or put it somewhere safe?
I'm willing to try and read it one more time and see if it's the same effect. See the same thing.
You can always identify it to see what it is.
That sounds like the less painful version of my suggestion.
I was going to say open the book in the middle and see what happens.
And second thought, let one open the book.
Are you sure?
Kylan just slowly takes out his warhammer and holds it over your head. Go for it.
Slowly taps his finger against your side, right where a nerve cluster is, and opens the book.
And a wisdom save, please. You are aware of what that is. You feel it, but before it takes hold, you steel your mind. You force out the same. But that same image from before is still there, whispering. It's a word. One word. You opened it in the middle, didn't you?
If Karsa opened it fresh, he'd have opened it from the beginning of the book.
Okay. So you see the same.
Oh, the second time? Yes, he wouldn't have thought to open it somewhere different if no one told him.
So you see the same word.
Do I recognise the word?
Roll history.
Ah, yes, I have excellent history.
It's an old script. Whatever it's written in was a long time ago. Roll Arcana. And if you're proficient, which you should be, roll at advantage.
Arcana? No, I'm not proficient in Arcana.
Okay, roll. Just give me an Arcana. Yeah, no. You think there's something magical, but hey, you don't know. You never studied magic.
So it's not primordial by any chance, because that's like the one ancient magic language on the Draconic I know.
Not that old.
Damn.
Well, you would know that, but yes. Okay, so you close the book. Kylon, do you take this book?
I mean, it'll offer to identify it. See what it is, and
Do you hand it over?
Garsat, you're the one holding the book.
Karsat kind of looks at the book, looks at Kylon. I'm assuming I can freely give the book if I want to.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, Karsat turns and runs.
Karsat just legs it as if it's handed over a primely made. Excellent. So, Kylon, you spend some time just examining this book without really opening and reading it, do you? You kind of you stretch out your innate magical sense to get a read on this thing.
Yeah, we'll work till cast identify on it.
Yes. So you do that. What you ascertain from this is that there is a word in this book. There is one word in this book, and that word changes every day. That word can be spoken. And you sense the immense power behind this book and some of the words in its history. And you sense some of what it has been used for. Fleeting images, just slight. But you know that the word that has formed today is kill.
Okay. Kylon will kind of explain that as best he can. Every day there's a single word in this book. It changes. You can speak it, but I don't know what it does.
You're thinking about it, about what you've learned from identifying it. This is a word of power. This is something that you can target, that you can speak at somebody. If you utter the word on the page, then whichever word that is, the effect will take hold as if it's been cast. In this case, out of character, if you spoke the word on that page at somebody, it's power word kill.
Oh shit.
Do we want that level of responsibility?
With the meathead? No, we'll take it away.
Are we putting it somewhere
Or
safe?
anything.
I mean, we're not going to want this to get into someone else's hands, right?
Maybe we bury it in the bag of holding till we can figure out what to do with it.
I can do better than that. Is there anything in the bag of holding that from that mini hoard that we don't need regular access to? Any of those trinkets that we can stash elsewhere?
Probably just.
Can we work out what that is?
The first level
Probably
scroll?
just a.
Yeah, just the first level.
Kylon would have identified that if it had been given. It would have identified everything that had been given them when they reached the wonderful tree house.
Yeah, with the
The frog stick.
Yeah, the frog stick. You know the way you get like the dried frogs, kind of like front legs up and back legs. I've got a vision of like in my mind. It's one of those kind of frogs with the stick tape like strapped to its back, so it's kind of looking like a slightly ghoulish fairy wand, but made of a frog.
Roll a 1d50. Just type in /r 1d50 somebody to see what it is. Right, I got a 15, so I'm not sure if Roll20's been very fast. The spell you identify is Disguise Self. First level illusion.
Nice.
Cool.
I don't know. Explain that to Karsat.
Well, that should be helpful.
Cool.
So, do we want to keep the book contained, or sort of like just tied with the strap in the bag of holding, or do we want it somewhere more secure?
More secure, probably.
And any of those trinkets that we don't want clattering around in the bag of holding?
Probably the coin. Like, we probably don't need to have access to, 7,000 gold pieces?
I don't think I can carry all of those at once.
Take the bag of holding with you.
Fair point. Any objections? Perfect. Adri will put the book back in the bag of holding. I'll take the bag of holding from Ildrid's one normally carrying it. Grab that, and she'll just put her left hand, which has got this big ornate ring. She'll put that into Ildrid's hand and say, "Keep hold of this." And she is going to disappear into bottled respite from the genie feature, leaving the ring sat in Ildrid's hand. At some point I will actually describe what it looks like in there, but for now, so to say, she takes the book out, she puts it away in her secure storage within the ring. Coins taken out, put away along with any other generic trinket, and then back to the ring. So now standing with the others, wearing the ring again.
How long does that take?
As long as it takes to do it. She can be in there for up to 10 hours. Okay. But as long as it would physically take to do the things.
So no difference in time or anything like that. Okay.
No. And she can hear everything that's happening outside the ring as though she was still in the space where it's happening.
The treehouse you are in is lovely and warm. There is fire, there is food, there is drink. There are comfortable beds. There is safety. There is a small gnome who is most perplexed but somewhat relieved, he tells you, that the treehouse has stopped falling apart. Normally, he tells you, that if you were to stay, he would request that you were able to do some repairs. But none are needed. And so you have an easy night's stay. leaving a very perplexed gnome to find his own peace. You have a long rest, uninterrupted. You wake up in the morning, feeling suitably rested. Who's got the book? Well, you know what? You've hidden it away. We'll deal with it if you come. Basically, mechanically, what's going to happen is if you do engage with the book, on a different day, there will be a different roll. If the roll brings the same word that was there previously, it will have to roll again. So it will never have the same word in it day after day. There is a list of words, which I'm not going to tell you, but it will certainly include the power words.
So, is it possible that at some point it could have, like, butterflies? I've moved on from frogs.
The sense of the words.
Or is it always like a spell?
Yeah, it's always going to be a powerful magical effect.
Okay.
Kylon, you picked up that it's previously been used to heal, to kill, to cause pain, and to stun.
Okay.
But you are aware of the fact that it has effects beyond that as well. But they're not surfaced sufficiently within its deep magical nature. Perhaps some more time to study it would be beneficial.
I need to go through my spells and sort out preparations and stuff, but I think one of the things that Ildry would do first upon awakening from her trance, because she's about 4 hours, like she only needs 4 hours, is having heard that there was a security breach and being vaguely concerned about certain other parties involved, she's going to cast Scrying and see if she can just see what another group of adventurers might actually be up to in Neeldra, just on the off chance a certain halfling hasn't, wandered into a keep or something where they shouldn't be.
What halfling would ever do that?
I don't know. But also Ollie instantly fails that because her wisdom save is dreadful. And Ildry has a piece of her and knows her. So she's just checking in, just making sure the city hasn't, crumbled around.
So, Ildry, for those that don't know, describe the relationship between the person you're scrying and yourself.
I suppose Ildry's relationship with the person that I am scrying, which is a certain half-elf from the other Monday's game, is probably pretty much like parasocial, I guess, at this point, in that Ildry basically has been scrying her and watching her, which Ollie is not going to like when she finds out. But Ollie doesn't really know of her existence beyond the fact that her mother is somewhere out there. So, fun times. But yes, she's slightly sus on the whole security breach thing, and she figures if it was like major threat, the other people would be dealing with it, but she's just minorly curious about whether or not the other group of adventurers may or may not be responsible for this.
Ollie is sleeping, fitfully as always, perhaps. Not resting, not meditating, just lying in a darkened room. She's by herself. The room is small. The room probably around the bed. Beyond much you can't see. There's some dark, fairly rough. It doesn't look like a particularly luxurious pad that's been stayed in, but
It doesn't look like a prison cell, though, does it?
it does not look like a prison cell. It looks like an inn or a wayfarer stop or some hideaway. Beyond that, you're not sure.
Okay. Ildry just kind of shrugs and goes, well, he's not in jail, so that's good. And continues on. And yes, I did just burn a 5th level spell slot to do that. It's fine.
Upon hearing they're not in jail, Karsa slips 5 gold towards Kylan.
Ellen just smells and goes double or nothing.
If they end up in jail within the next year, 500 gold.
Deal.
Are you seriously joking about if my daughter's going to be arrested?
It's a party-wide bet.
Okay,
It's mainly on the little one.
Yes. Although, ending up in prison counts even if it's a failed breaker.
I mean, there was that one time.
Yes, that succeeded though.
Anyway, I suppose we should venture forth towards the Sea of Dust.
Before we leave, enthusiastic thanks, etc., to the gnome for letting us stay. But Adri will just ask them if they have anything in the way of a compass or anything that's not specific to Bitopia that might help us navigate and know where we're going. And with offer of payment.
The gnome looks at you and says, I've never left Bitopia. It's been my home for always. I just don't understand why I'm here. And were I seeking payment, then I would not need anything done because everything here is fixed. Working. Not falling apart. It has been a whole sleep and nothing has fallen down. I am sorry. I cannot help you. The Sea of Dust, you say?
Yes. I mean, while things may fall apart in your sleep, which doesn't sound particularly amazing, I'll be honest. It sounds exhausting. Potentially dangerous. I suspect it's still probably a better place for you than the Sea of Dust from a going exploring perspective. But as to why you're here, the gods have a funny sense of humour.
At that point, you see his eyes just opening wide. You're right. It's Garl. He's a funny one. He's a funny one. And yeah, you hear him just laughing away as he walks back and out the room, the front door, the stairs appear. Are you heading off at that point?
Anything anyone else needs to do?
Ellen just leans down and whispers in Karset's ear. I think he's insane.
Yes, but the boring fight.
The what? You broke up there.
Sorry, dogs are ruining my noise gate by jumping about. Yes, but I think he's the boring kind. It's no fun to fight him.
True. He seems far too happy.
He's... They let us sleep. Very rude to punch your host once they've let you.
True. Have to be civil.
Generally the done thing.
You walk on. Away from the treehouse, away from the water, away from the purple glow of safety, back into the grey, dull, ongoing caves. And after some hours, the cave stone gives way to sand. The walls become more loose. They crumble. You run your hand along and you feel like you're coming to the upper reaches. It's warmer. And the cave stops. After walking about, well, you're not sure, underground, but a while. You felt hungry in the time since you've left, so some hours. The cave stops.
Stops, as in solid wall, or we are no longer in the cave, we're now outside?
You walk up closer to the end of the cave and into a circular space. Above you, sand, the light above it suggesting that however this is held up, it would be very easy to break through. This is very much the same type of structure that you fell into, but this one is intact and doesn't have swirling eddies of dust forming into deadly monsters that want to rip your head off your shoulders. It's quiet, but undoubtedly above the sand at the top, about 60 foot up, is light.
Well, we're still in the desert, I guess.
That's a good thing.
Huh.
I mean, it's on track for the mission.
Yes. Any ideas how to get through it?
Might be covered in.
And you broke up again, Mud.
Goddamn. Dead as that. Never mind. Kylan, throw me.
Not sure I can throw you that far, but I'll try. Kylan shall attempt to throw kobold.
All right, an athletics roll. Let's see how far the kobold can fly after leaving your hands.
What could possibly go wrong?
Athletics.
I mean, that would
I'm technically small.
seem to be a reasonable attempt. Certainly above average human capacity. Throwing things. What is it you're trying to do?
Basically get close enough that I can punch the sand ceiling with lightning.
You are an improvised weapon.
That sounds about right.
You can, yeah, okay. Let's say an improvised weapon has a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. So yeah, you can get up there.
So I'm going to fly into it head first, and I will punch it 3 times. Once with lightning, once with cold, once with fire.
Okay. Before you even get to the second punch, the sand explodes and falls down about you. Tons of sand. Could I get a dex saving throw from everybody who's still down there? And could I get one from Karsat as well? You're going to have to do some... Karsat, it's going to be a lot harder for you. Kylon, with your speed, you're able to get back into the tunnel as this funnel of sand just crashes down on top of the rest of the group, but they did not move quick enough. Karsat, you are going to take 66 bludgeoning damage as you are forced to the ground by the weight of the sand that you have unearthed. The structural integrity of the skin of sand has been broken and it slams you to the ground. You take 20 points of damage and are prone and are covered in sand.
Is this technically falling damage, Joy?
This is not technically fallen damage. It's yeah, no, because you're being pushed. It's the sand that's pushing you down.
In that case, can I use a key point to disengage from the sand and sprout wings to fly back down?
You can do that. You avoid the worst of the damage. When you land ahead of the falling sand. This happens very quickly. I'll need another dex save from you as the sand crashes on top of you. There we go. You fly to the necessary piece of land that stops you from being hit. There's a stone, and you get under it, and then the sand fills up. You are at the bottom of a large pile of sand, however. Okay, so Adri and Ildri, you are slammed by rocks and sand. Improvised weapons again. You each take 12 points of damage, but you...
Can he dodge that?
Yeah, you can uncanny dodge the damage. I would take half. But you are... You are standing, not moving. You tried to move, you didn't get out. So yeah, you are trapped under the sand fall. Ildri and Adri, you're both trapped under the sand. Karsat, you with that, yeah, you flew and out the way sand. You were above the sand, and Kylon, you are stuck in a tunnel with a whole pile of sand streaming in.
Kylon will dump sandbag out and immediately shout, "Find them and help them." And then he'll start digging his way out the top of the tunnel.
And that's where we'll leave it.